Happy Friday, everybody. This is Brian Tarian from the Disability Digest. Welcome to our Friday live event here on YouTube. In these events, we go through some big picture items, give you some tips to help you get, keep, and maximize your Social Security disability benefits. Today, I'm going to talk about a situation from one of our members, Barbara, who posted a comment in the YouTube channel about her benefits. Also, going to go through some tips about doctoring, what to do when you go to the doctors, regardless if you're trying to get approved or if you're already going to get approved. This is kind of like help you get your disability benefits and also some disability insurance tips. So, hello, Miss Lawson. Hello, William. Thank you for joining. Um, I am going to put in the chat here um, comment that I would like everybody to respond to so I have an understanding of where you're at in the disability process. So, for example, the number one is you haven't applied, all the way up to number four is you've applied. So that would help me out, so I understand kind of how to guide and direct our conversation today. Right? Great. Now, as we get going, if you have questions, this is really about you. You enter your questions. I'll do the best I can to address them all in the time that I have. And it's okay if you send me a zinger and I get stumped. I invite that. It's happened before, so no worries there. And if you're new here, welcome. Here at the Disability Digest, we provide these big picture type topics and we help you understand items to help you get your benefits, keep your benefits, and maximize them. If you like the work that we do, we hope that you subscribe and ring the bell so you can stay tuned for more. And of course, we invite you to join us as a member. And the value of doing that is if you join us or update your membership, then we can provide you with a customized approach to help you get your benefits, keep them, or maximize them. There's no one size fits all. Um, Age, conditions, income, geography, these are all factors that are going to determine our ability to help you. So there'll be a link below the replay here. Okay, great. Thanks for putting the numbers up. I see a question coming in from Bernadine. Thank you. All right. And I'm going to get to those questions in a moment. First, I want to cover this. This is from Barbara, who posted this in our YouTube comment section. Um, and she writes, December 1st, 2022, I got my regular Social Security disability check. I've been getting it since I was awarded in 2011. I've done the disability review. The last time she was reviewed for continuing disability review was in 2018. I'm reading on another monitor here. Anyway, I got my check on December 1st, 2022, and on the letter dated with it, it said that I had been overpaid $107,000 and they want it back in 30 days. Folks, this is not an April Fool's joke. You can read the real deal in the comments. So, unfortunately, this is going on quite frequently out there. We had another one come in from Miss Edwards. Hers was only $37,000. But what I want to give you today is some insight on really how to communicate with your doctor and so that you can do one little piece that you can control is get your benefits or keep your benefits. Before I do that, what I would like to hear from everybody out there is when you go into your primary care visit with your doctor, you know, that 7-minute doctor visit that you get, and the doctor says to you, "How are you today?" What's your response? Send me a quick note what you would commonly say in that. And thank you for the numbers. Those of you that are just joining, I put a series of numbers in there. One, if you have not applied, all the way up to four that you've been approved. If you would look for that comment and then put your number in, that would be great. Okay, so keep those comments coming about what you say when the doctor says to you, "How are you today?" All right, where I'm going with this is 2 days ago, there was a lesson that was put out on a YouTube channel about how to communicate that you qualify in 2 sentences or less. Most people, they're all over the place and trying to explain what their situation is. And I'm not going to go into all the details because you can go listen to the video. But the point of the video is to have a short, concise statement about why you qualify. Okay. Discussing your communicating your limitations. So something that came out of that was a member had said, "Well, should I be communicating right away when the doctor asks me how I am? Should I be communicating my 2 sentence statement as to why I qualify?" And I thought that was a good question. Um, and here is my response. Okay, I'm going to come back to some of these. These are funny. Um, in a minute. But this is my opinion. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. It's really a kind of a personal play. But I do feel that you could do that. You could say, boom, I can't sit, I can't stand, I can't walk, I can't bend, I can't stoop, and you've been treating me for 5 years and it's not going very well. You could definitely do that. Or you could go the more passive route and say, I'm doing okay. But here's my challenges, right? I can't bend, I can't stand, I can't sit, all the other things that are involved in it. Um, so the reason why this is important is if you're new here is that getting your limitations, what you cannot do, communicated to your doctor into your medical records is the lock on helping you get your benefits and keep your benefits, right? So I just want to see here. Okay, we've got one in here, and this is a response to the question about what do you say when the doctor says hello? We've got one in here from Effie. I feel like shit. It hurts. I don't understand what's going on with my head. All right, that's good. Um, I'm okay, but and then I proceed to tell him about back, my right, I don't know that word, sciatic, and other physical struggles. Okay, like that approach. I'm hurting all over, depressed a lot, and tired. So that's your opening statement. That's from Becky. So pretty much people are right to the point here. Um, okay, good, good. I guess just to kind of conclude and wrap this up, as long as you get in what you need to get in to get those limitations in there, any of these approaches are certainly going to work. Um, okay, one other newsworthy event is the Social Security offices are opening up. I put a video out yesterday about that. If you have any interest in going to the Social Security office when they open up right away, please have a listen to that. It could save you hours and a lot of angst and waiting in line, and just a few heads up on that. So great. Okay, I'm going to take some time and go into some of the questions that we have here. Let me just start from the top. Just a reminder for those of you that are new to enter your number, where you're at in the process. We've got some twos in here. We have many fours, which means you're approved. Some people are applied and waiting, applied and denied. Um, so that's helpful. Okay, good. Okay, so I have a question here from Miss Bernadine. Thank you for your question. Question is, you say you have helped all these people get, keep, and maximize benefits. What exactly do you do? That's a really good question. Well, some days I wonder what I do. But what we attempt to do is provide individuals with the resources at each step of the way. Actually, I have. Um, would you put together a list of those top six sources that we have to help people go through the process, the most popular ones? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some links in the in the chat here. But when somebody joins us as a member, they update their membership. That membership is looked at, and what we do is we take people through the process of helping them if they're working full time. I'm going to start there, to understand what they need to do. Um, Working full time to prepare their situation, their medical records, their doctor's relationships, um, so that they have income enough to survive the wait and get approved. We do all of those things with individuals that are working full time. So it's basically benefit preparation. You can't apply if you're still working full time. So that's one thing. If somebody's out of work, then it's on to the next phase, which is a strategy. The strategy is to get an understanding of, one, do they qualify? Have they worked enough? Two, if they've qualified, what's their doctoring like? Have they been to the doctors enough with a clear diagnosis to understand that's going to be enough substance in the medical records to get get them approved? And then if there is, then we would guide them to the options that we have for them to get approved, which is one, you can do it on your own. We've got a disability approval course. I've been putting it together with industry experts since 2006. Attorney John Ginsburg, Attorney Carl Osterhow, ex Social Security employee Barb Mountain all have interviews, guidance, and segments in it that teach you what to say, what to do, what not to do. And a lot of you members out there have contributed different success stories that we put in there. Little tips like, all right, if you're using a cane, you should make sure your doctor has it prescribed to you so it shows up in your medical records. One tip from Chris. So things like that. So you can do it on your own. A lot of people don't want to do it on their own. They want to have representation. They either don't feel comfortable doing it, they'd rather have make sure it's done right. Um, and so they can look, we can talk to them, see if we can find representation for them. Maybe it's a case that we would work on here with our team. We only do a few of them, but maybe that's a possibility, or we can refer them to somebody else that's out there. But the point is there, you can do it on your own, or you can use a representative. But regardless of which way somebody goes through the approval process, we make sure, or we try to make sure, that they follow along with the course, because the course is going to help them understand the process. And if you understand the process, whoever you've hired to do the job, you can make sure they're doing their job. It's a big problem. People go out, they get an attorney, I got it all done. They have no idea what needs to be done. They have no idea what they're doing. So that's the second piece that we do. You get those ready? Okay, great. I'm going to finish, and then I've got some links I'm going to put in that are relative to this, and I'll put them below the show notes when we're done as well. Third thing we do when somebody's approved, we work to help them understand what their benefit is, and we want to help them keep that benefit, and then we want to help them maximize it. So if it's somebody that we've worked with here and we go through the approval process, then we're going to review their award and make sure that what they've received for their back pay is correct, that their onset date, that they were approved, that they got paid for all of that time. You can go back 12 months from the time that you applied, um, and that they received all their money when their Medicare starts. And then we help them with a Medicare transition process. There's no charge for this, where we'll go through based on their doctors and their medications and what their income is and where they live, and find solutions for them for their healthcare coverage. Um, and if they enroll in the healthcare coverage, that's where our benefit protection plan comes in. And our benefit protection plan is if you have a continuing disability review, not if, but when, and you are working with us and we're managing your insurance and getting paid by the insurance companies to do it, then you have access to our legal team to help you get rid of your continuing disability review or go through it successfully. Um, and so we do that and provide it at no charge, because we want to keep you on your benefits so that you're getting paid. And in order to do that and get your Medicare, we need to make sure that these continuing disability reviews go smoothly. So it's an addition also why we provide a lot of tips to help you with the doctor's relationship. So those are some of the core things that we do. Along the way, we have resources like a lot of people have a hard time surviving, even on a disability check. So we put together a collection of resources to help you survive, like little things, like if you're paying for your cell phone, you probably don't have to be, or you could get it significantly discounted. Things like that. Or a lot of people have gaps in their coverage. They have other family members that are not properly covered with doctors, with dental, with medications. So we put together a list of resources for that. So that's kind of the some of the highlights that we do. We do work helping individuals go back to work. It's one of the key things that we do. We can't put everybody back to work working here at the Disability Digest. There's 163,000 of you, and we only have 4 or 5 positions at a time. But there's other companies out there that we have worked with that can help you, go part time, keep your benefits, make money. So there's other options, and we teach you individuals how to do things on their own. Okay, so I am going to put these 6 links in here. Oh, also, thanks for including that. The last link, number 6, is a bunch of success stories from our YouTube channel. So don't let this distract you from the show now, but you can come back to this afterwards. But I just put it in the comments there. I think I did. Okay. All right. And oh, you know what? It's not letting me put it all in the comments because it's too much text. So it'll be in the show notes afterwards. When this is done, I'll have it posted. All right. Let's see yeah, if you're new here and you have other comments or questions, put them in. Okay, here's one from Eric. Uh, Bernadine, thanks for that question. By the way, that was a workout. Um, Understand you can make up to $970 a month on disability without triggering an SGA. Is there a limit to the amount of hours you can work? Yes, it's 20. And so, kind of a gray area on that. If you're doing something on your own at home, I mean, how is that 20 tracked? If you're watching and learning something about what you're doing for work, like on TikTok, does that count? It's just hard to track. But if you're doing a traditional job and it's 20 hours, is what it is. That's a good question. Um, and there's a lot of confusion about this, and people have said, well, I've read it's $1,350. But that's the amount going through the process. And the key here, if and this has been on our YouTube channel a bunch of times, is follow the regulation when you are looking to get answers. And that's the real key thing here. So, all right. Thanks for that question, Eric. Okay, good. Um, all right, let's see. I got a letter from Social Security with my lawyer's name. Okay, will I be getting a date in the mail soon to talk to the administrative law judge? How does that work? Yes, you should be. Okay, so it sounds to me like you may have received some pre hearing information. They're getting you ready for a hearing uh, because unless there's a date on it, that would be the prior document. Just a heads up, the hearings now are becoming, they're coming up fast for Social Security. And so you should be getting your date pretty soon. So, time to sync up, make sure that your attorney's got all your medical records, prepared to write a brief, get in there in front of the judge. I'll share this snippet with you kind of on the bigger picture for those going through the approval process. And a group of individuals that work in the disability world, and we meet once a month. And last month or this meeting, most recent one was last night actually. And what's going on with Social Security? They've been closed for 2 years, really, the offices. So there's some offices I learned yesterday that haven't opened mail in 2 years. Get that, right? They haven't opened their mail. So When these offices open back up, it's not going to be a smooth process. Um, but my point that I'm making here is many of you trying to get approved have been waiting for decisions for 12 months just for an initial decision that should be 3 to 5 months. Um, but on the other hand, those of you that are waiting for a hearing, those happen really quick because the judges have been working from their home. They still wear their robes, apparently. Um, but they've been able to do hearings at a very rapid rate, um, because they don't have to go into wherever it is they usually go, the administrative buildings. So the hearings are fast, but the paperwork and people not being in the other offices for Social Security has really bogged it down. So if you're out there and you're waiting for a decision, just you got to hang in there, be patient, don't get discouraged. All right. I think I missed a question. I got to go back up here. Okay. Um, Lisa, you had a question about long term disability, but I don't quite get it. Let me see here. What if you are getting long term disability from your job? I'd say that's good. I don't know what the question is, though. I mean, can you still apply for disability? Maybe that's the question. And yeah, that's the purpose of it, really. I look at the long-term disability policies that most people get now as kind of a loan. Most of them are written so that you get 60% of your income until you get your Social Security disability benefits paid, and then oftentimes you have to pay that money back. So read the fine print or get somebody to help you understand it so you know what the deal is. And also, most long term disability policies have a clause in there that requires you to apply for your disability benefits. Um, okay, I only got 4 months of back pay. I've been out of work for 2+ years. I appealed it. This is a good point. And this is why, there's very little, frankly, that you can do about that. Those are tough, tough, tough ones to win, Dean. Um, but what I will say is that for those of you that are, thinking about applying, or anybody that's in that situation, maybe they're starting to go through some decompensation, I would just encourage them to grasp the message about how to work with their doctors and get their limitations in. Because it could be in Dean's situation that he was legitimately disabled, but his medical records didn't support it. So he, okay, for 2+ years. So, and you can go back and get a maximum of 12 months. So, had that been the case, then you would have picked up another, uh, well, my math says 8 months. And if your check's $2,000, it's $16,000. So, all right, is it worth it? Maybe. Takes a few minutes to just communicate your limitations, right? Okay, all right. And Happy Ron was in a similar situation. Okay, all right. Um, I'm just scanning through the questions here. Um, and as I scan through, they jump around. Had problems. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So this is a question from Linda. Um, Linda, you're communicating a bunch of struggles. You had problems with your third trimester, with your son, education, memory challenges, so on and so forth. Um, yeah, I mean, here's my point with that. I think only only the individual or the applicant knows whether they can work or not. And a lot of people rely on doctors, brother-in-laws, Facebook groups to understand if they qualify for disability. But you got to look yourself in the mirror and you gotta say, can I work 40 hours a week? Right? Can I do that? Or how many, maybe I feel good today, but am I going to, how many days a month am I off task? This is the same question about going through a review. This same question about keeping a diary. I mean, how many days a month am I off task? If I'm off task and I can't work 10 days a month, who's gonna hire you? How are you gonna keep a job? Right. So those are really the key things that you need to go on. And there's this whole stigma about people getting on benefits that shouldn't be, but I tell you, I don't see it here. I don't, I don't. Most people would like to work. Um, all right, so let's see. Continuing CDR coming up 3 years. Okay. All right. Well, here's an interesting one from Linda. You have a continuing disability review coming up and has not been doctoring. I don't want to be intimidating, but that's problematic right there because the challenge with benefits, not the challenge, the rules for keeping your benefits are you have conditions, they're being treated by a doctor, and you have limitations that prevent you from working. So Social Security can go and they look, one of the first things they do on the CDR is they ask you for your doctoring history. And if you haven't been doctoring, and yeah, there's this little COVID thing and all that's going on, but you could still do remote, some type of remote type, uh, you know, doctoring. So the only thing you can do right now is control going forward in that situation, which is to, when you get it done this meeting, schedule an appointment and do it. Um, okay. All right. Good. I think I have covered most of the questions that we have here today. If there's any last ones, just put them in the bottom of the chat, and as I wrap up, I'll take another moment to do it. But I want to thank everybody for coming out today and doing these events with me. It's enjoyable for me. I hope you get some value out of it. And if you're new here, encourage you to subscribe and ring the bell. And we put these notices out for these live events usually like Wednesday, Thursday. So if you see it, you can just click on it and it'll give you a reminder. And of course, if you are new here and you're not a member, we invite you to join us or update your membership. Like I know Effie just did recently, and then we can provide you with a customized approach again to help you get your benefits, keep your benefits, and maximize your benefits. So, again, thank you. I know there's other things you could be doing with your time on Friday than hanging out with me. So, it's my honor to spend some time with you and help you out. Make it a great day. Till the next time, be well.